seems like, from a strikeout perspective and hits, it was just a really good all-around performance for you.
All that came out, did about as good as he could do, honestly. I think the first breaking ball he threw was probably the best one he threw, and so they knew he had it. And went in for a strike, and then obviously the fastball sitting in the mid-90s for, I think, the first couple innings for sure. And gave us 2 quick innings. Obviously, their starter gave them 2 quick innings. You can kind of get a sense that it was going to come down to a big hit or maybe a mistake. And but Paulette, he did a tremendous job for us, just coming out, throwing strikes, and getting us in the dugout.
Nate?
How big was it for Monk as far as having a rough outing last night to come in and get the job done tonight?
I think it was big for him. His stuff last night was good. They just kind of attacked him with 2 strikes. One was a pitch that was down, and they went down and got it and got a hit. And the other one, the pitch was up. The guy kind of got on top of it. It did a great job of hitting. So we wanted to show him a little confidence. We felt like he'd have been the guy that come in and get a couple ground balls, which he did. One got through the hole, one went to short. But that was good for him and kind of got us finished through that inning so we could start Bolden in a fresh inning and not bring him in with runners on. That's what we wanted to do.
And what about Slavens and his performance?
Well, Brady, I think when we scored maybe in the 4th, that whole inning started with 2 outs. I think maybe there was a walk and a base hit, or I don't remember exactly, honestly. And then, Slavens hit one through that 4-3 hole to give us a 1-0 lead. And then, the home run that kind of broke the game open, the 3-run homer, again with 2 outs. He had just gotten a big out. The pitcher just gotten a big out. And then Slavens took the first pitch. It was either a changeup or a cutter, and it was just a little low. It was good to see him take that pitch, and he tried to sneak a fastball by him, and he got every bit of it.
Hutch?
Dave, what did you see out of Bolden tonight, and how big was it for him to finish it off there to save the rest of your bullpen for tomorrow?
Well, what I saw was a really good pitcher. He was in and out with that fastball. He was busting him in, and he's throwing the ball anywhere. I might have saw. I don't look up all the time. Just every now and then, I want to see what's going on. I think I saw a 92, maybe a 93 once or twice. Fastball moves and runs. He had a really good slider tonight. Threw a few changeups. There were a couple of times that we felt like we would have just liked to see maybe a little more him pitch to contact and end up getting deep into counts. And but his stuff was good. He did everything we wanted him to do. Obviously, we've thought about starting him, and he was probably one that that got left out to start, and he handled it real well, and his start's coming.
Bob?
Dave, just how you talked about a crazy game. You go from 9 runs one night to 0 the next. What would you say about that?
Well, I'd say our pitching was a lot better today. Number one, we didn't walk people and hit people. I think we maybe hit one, we hit the same guy twice, but I think we hit him 3 times actually, come to think of it. But both times that we think there might have been 2 outs, nothing really happened, but we just pitched well. We pitched ahead in the count and, kept him off balance a little bit. We didn't give him the big inning, obviously. We didn't give him anything.
Kendall?
Coach, I know you've been pretty excited about Peyton since he showed up to campus, but can you just discuss just kind of his maturity? I think it was there, was it the 3rd inning? They get bases loaded with 1 out, and he finds a way to work out of that jam. And sometimes a young pitcher would struggle in this situation, but he stepped up.
He did. Coach Hobb took him out and visit there and probably just said, hey, you want to work out the stretch here? You want to go out of the windup? It's your choice. And, he'd been out of the stretch for a couple hitters in a row, decided to go out of the windup. And I think he got a strikeout and a fly out and got in the dugout. And, once you do that once, usually you find a way how to do that again. And there was some confidence there. So that was the inning that he had to get through, and he did it.
Thanks.
All right, let me know if you've got more questions in the chat. Matt?
You said you thought Bolden's start is coming. You're going to have 4 games next week. Do you think he might factor into the rotation next week for you, Caleb?
Yeah, there's a real good chance. So, here it is Sunday night, and we play Thursday through Sunday. So, he has time to recover and get out there. So, but yeah, it's, we get a couple days off. One's going to be a travel day, and then we play 4 days in a row. So, definitely going to stretch our pitching staff. And it's just good to see him go out and do what he did. So, makes it easy to get him, to put him out there and start him.
Bob,
Dave, I know Arkansas has been in the SEC forever, but you're an old Southwest Conference guy. How much fun is it to beat Texas?
I don't get all wound up about it, honestly. It's just another game to me. We got to, there's 2 other teams from the Western Division here right now that are every bit as good as we are, and we got our hands full with league play. So it's always good to win games against, well-known teams, especially early in the season, because, everybody knows them. And I have a lot of respect for their program, what they've done over the last 75 years, honestly. It's hard to say it's just another win because maybe some, of our fans or, love it when we beat Texas in anything. But to me, it's just a good win for our program.
Kendall,
Good.
Hutch.
Dave, you've talked a lot about how you've got like 7 or 8 different guys that could be starters. Could tonight kind of be a trend in how you got a starter who gives you a 4 or 5, and then you bring another guy in that finishes it off 4 or 5 innings as well? Could this be a trend throughout the year?
Well, we call it bridging. We're just, if one guy can go give us 4 to 5, the next guy can give us another 4, and we can finish the game. That's great. You're going to use 3 pitchers at just about every game out anyway. So, we plan on doing this some. But then it just depends if some guys really take off and take those jobs and they build their pitch counts up a little bit and then give us 6, 7, 8 innings before the season ends.
Trey Schapp.
Coach, this might be a tough question. I know it's only 2 games in, but what have you learned about your baseball team through these 2 games?
Well, I learned a lot about the team last night, but I kind of knew it. They're scrappy. They're going to play you for 27 outs. I said that last night. They like each other a little bit. It's fun to be around these guys because they're pretty close. Really, for what we've been through, this COVID thing and separate locker rooms, and we had guys all over Baum Stadium. Just we'd meet on the field, and you lose a little bit of that camaraderie. And these guys have done a good job of at least showing and that they care about each other, and it's fun. It's been, we talk about it all the time in the coaching office. So they're tough.
Tom.
Hey, Dave, who would you like to pitch behind Lockhart tomorrow if you get a chance to throw him? And also, how long you expect Goodhart to be out?
Well, as far as Lockhart tomorrow, he'll pitch until it's time to take him out or he hits his pitch count. We've got 3 or 4 guys out there that are ready to go. I really don't want to mention any names, but we're just going to do what we have to do to win the game. And if a matchup is someone that's already pitched in the first 2 games, that's who we're going to put out there if they're available. If not, we'll go with a new arm. Wiggins is a guy that jumps out to me just a little bit that we want to get him on the mound before we leave here, if at all possible. But if it doesn't work out that way, then we'll probably give him the ball one of these games coming up.
And then on Goodhart?
Yeah, we don't know yet. When we get back on Tuesday, I know that he's going to see a doctor, and they're trying to work on some things, but I don't know all the details right now. And I just want him to feel better. Obviously, we miss him in our lineup, one of our best hitters, but he's got to be healthy and have the right mindset where he can concentrate on the game.
Kendall. You're muted, Kendall.
Sorry about that. It's loud behind me. Coach, you're gonna kill me for asking this question, but when I watch Pallette, he kind of reminds me a little bit actions wise and like body wise of Walker Buehler. I know you faced him as a coach. Do you kind of see that a little bit, just kind of his body style and his approach?
That's probably a pretty good call. I had the opportunity to have Buehler on my team with, our team with USA when I was managing it. And he was a little bit of an unknown. And I can remember when he threw this first bullpen, I remember Coach Childress, who was our pitching coach, made the comment, "This guy's special." It didn't take too long, but, not quite as big, but the same type of arm speed as he continues to gain experience. And but yeah, there's a lot of the same mannerisms. That's a good read.
Matt,
Slavens had big numbers in junior college last year. Sometimes that doesn't translate. What have you seen from him since he got to campus? And then tonight, both of those hits came with 2 outs when Texas was close to maybe getting out of some innings. Just wonder if you can talk about how big those were for you.
Well, obviously, we've seen a lot of good things from him since he arrived on campus in the fall. I mean, he's had his ups and downs like everybody did. A lot of guys didn't play a lot of ball. He had the opportunity to play a little bit of summer ball out east, and he's came in. He was trying to earn a job, whether it was at third or second or first or outfield or whatever, and probably didn't know what to think a little bit. But always swings the bat well. He competes, and he didn't get cheated if he gets a good pitch. And that's what you saw tonight. He got him a good pitch. He didn't get cheated, and he hit it about as hard as you can hit it.
last one, Bob.
Dave, I assume you've watched, TCU play. Just wonder what your thoughts are on them or your expectations for that game.
It's really solid. They don't make very many mistakes, and they like to move runners around a little bit. They like to hit and run and bunt and kind of, push the button, so to speak, and put some pressure on you. We're going to see a good lefty tomorrow. So I don't know. We'll just go out and play and see how it goes.
Thanks, Dave.
All right.